I wanted to welcome at this time Undersecretary Adam Zuber of the Treasury Department to bring us maybe, but certainly, I don't know, you never know. Got to try what we can, right? But certainly greetings on behalf of the administration. Secretary Zuber.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Shem Tov. It is a true privilege to be here. And if Mussi wasn't nervous, I think I am. My grandparents, who raised my father and uncle in Poland in the 1930s, would have had a hard time believing this scene. That I am standing here as an official from the U.S. government, about to light a menorah in front of the White House. To my grandparents, having barely escaped the Nazis, survived in Siberia under Stalin, and then started over from scratch in Israel and then the United States, this would have seemed like an unbelievable fantasy. But I can picture my grandfather here, and I think I know what he would have said. With his eyes twinkling, a small smile on his lips, he would have shaken his head and said, "Only in America." And I think that's true. This country is a special place. It has welcomed immigrants like my father and millions upon millions of others, and allowed them to work, to raise families, to flourish, and to give back, to become Americans. I truly believe there is no place like it on earth, a golden Medina. We are here on a joyous occasion. Hanukkah marks the victory of the Jews in Israel over the Seleucid Greeks over 2,100 years ago. And the holiday, as we all know, centers on the menorah and its 8 candles. But if you think about it, the candle is a strange symbol for a holiday that commemorates military resistance and victory. Candles, or the oil lamps that preceded them, are among the most fragile things on earth. It seems anything can put out a candle's flame. When its oil or wax is consumed, it disappears. If it is deprived of oxygen, it goes out in seconds. And a few drops of water, even a small breeze, are enough to extinguish its light. It is a strange symbol, then, to evoke the might of the Maccabees. But at another level, the candle is exactly right. For the small fluttering flame of the candle stands for the values that the Maccabees fought for. The candle has a purpose that is uniquely human. It brings light into our homes, into our lives. Candles illuminated the pages of millions of books, allowing study, discussion, art, and innovation. It was by candlelight that families throughout history came together for dinner. It enabled all of those things that make human beings more than just physical bodies, that make us holy. And the candle has another special power. It can replicate itself infinitely, lighting wick after wick, without losing any of its strength. In that way, I believe, we are all candles. We are blessed by our Creator with a soul, a moral light, and the ability to spread that light to others. Our rabbis wrote in the Talmud, a candle is called a candle, but the soul of a person is also called a candle. Indeed, I believe we are at our finest, our most human, our most humane, when we are helping others. I'm not sure, but I believe this is why the shamash, the central helper candle, or lighter candle, whose only purpose is to light the other candles in the Chanukiah, is placed at the center and often elevated above the rest. It's certainly not there because of its importance. If it blows out, it isn't even relit. But the value of the shamash does not come from what it is, but from what it does. And it has a pivotal role, to transfer light. And I think that is why in nearly every menorah you encounter, the shamash is placed in a prized position, above all others. We are measured less then by what we are than by what we do, and what we do for others. I thought about this yesterday, when I read of the passing of Marion Pritchard, a woman I had never heard of. Marion, as a 22-year-old student in 1942, was living in the Netherlands when the Nazis invaded and occupied her country. One day she witnessed Nazi soldiers violently taking Jewish children away for horrible fates, and her course was set. Over the next years, she found Jewish children safety in homes. She got them false papers, food, and medical care. She herself took in a family with 3 small children and protected them throughout the war. Recall that she was in her 20s at the time. Her actions could have easily gotten herself killed, and she risked her life again and again for people she didn't know. By the war's end, she estimated she had saved 150 Jews. 150 souls who lived, who have by this point borne thousands of grandchildren, all alive because of this one woman. And who was she? She wasn't a powerful official. She wasn't trained as a soldier or a relief worker. She wasn't from a wealthy or influential family. She was simply a person who knew right from wrong and was ready to act on her beliefs. She was a shamash, and look at what she accomplished. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Schneerson of blessed memory, understood this as the message of Hanukkah. He wrote that lighting the menorah symbolizes the triumph of freedom over oppression, of spirit over matter, of light over darkness. He wrote, "The forces of darkness are ever present. Moreover, the danger does not come exclusively from outside. It often lurks close to home, in the form of insidious erosion of time-honored values and principles that are at the foundation of any decent human society." Needless to say, darkness is not chased away by brooms and sticks, but by illumination. Those are his words, and I think they're as appropriate today as they've ever been. So my wish for all of us in this beautiful and unique country is that we take the message of Hanukkah to heart, that we find the part of our souls that is illuminated, that is pure and bright, and look for ways, both big and small, to share that with others in our communities, in our country, and in our world. We can educate one another. We can extend a charitable hand to those in need. We can take care of the widow, the orphan, and the stranger who seeks refuge among us. We can give of our humanity infinitely without diminishing our own. As the example of Marion Pritchard reminds us, we can all do extraordinary things, and even the smallest of candles can light the largest of flames. So tonight, as we stand here, and as Jewish families are gathering around the globe to approach the menorah, to reach for the shamash, and to light their candles and bless their Creator, my hope is that our lights steadily increase until the world is illuminated by a continual and unwavering light, a ner tamid. On behalf of the President, the First Lady, and the entire administration, I want to wish you and your families a freilich and Hanukkah, a happy Hanukkah. Chag Sameach.
One very important announcement. Secretary Zubin spoke before of fighting darkness with light. I remember those words being spoken to a particular man by the Rebbe many, many years ago on Simchat Torah, when we rejoiced with the Torah. The Rebbe told him, "You are working in a place where there is great grief and darkness. But remember that in that place of darkness, you can only counter it by lighting a candle, by creating light." That man was Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was at the time the ambassador to the United Nations. So as I know that some of us are so sad at what happens there with regard to Israel, we must remember that the way to counter any darkness, any disappointment, is not with harsh rhetoric, not with anger, but by creating light. Because when we create light, the darkness dissipates. And we look forward to the day when there will be no more darkness. There will be no more evil. There will be no more disappointment. We will live a life, full of light, full of peace, full of harmony, as we will all be together in the coming of the world to its point of redemption.